The topic today is why people don't finish high school when they wait their whole childhood to finish. One of the reasons can be taking care of their parents who are either ill, a drug user, or just not responsible enough to carry out a family to take care of them, because sometimes people come from places where you got to understand they didn't have the best life, but they wanted their children to have the best life. So that's what makes it a little hard when they weren't able to take care of their children. And sometimes children become very responsible and wind up helping to take care of their parents. So sometimes within that, people have to stop going to school because school become not the most important part in their life. It's a big part of life, but it's not the most important things in some people's life. Because sometimes life just don't give you a chance for it to go that way. The next thing was grandparents are either too old to take care of a teenage girl or a boy child. For the girl, it's a risk of pregnancy, drug abuse, prostitution, selling drugs. For the boy, drug selling, gang activity, possibly babies, drug abuse, which all create a low self-esteem due to feeling alone and unprotected. So that's why some people wind up doing the things that they do that I just listed. A third thing, being a regular teenager, getting pregnant, no job, child father in the life, but don't know how to be a father because he's just a child itself. So you have that young girl depending on that young boy, and they both don't have a clue what to do or how to problem solve, how to budget, how to do anything like that to raise a child. And sometimes the father just outright not in the child's life, and that child may never meet their father. And then there's domestic violence that takes over a lot of people's family, and people don't know what to do. And they scared out of going to their school. They can't study. You can't study sometimes when so many things are on your mind and you got so many things to be responsible for. So when people are able to sit down and study and remember these things, you got to remember that it's some people that they can't even begin to think about holding those kind of thoughts. When they got their grandmother to take care of, their mother out there on the street doing drugs, their father somewhere, they're pregnant. All of those things happen. And all of those are a lot of people's reality. Number 4, raising a child in these conditions. Some come out to be great. Some come out to be a product of their environment, which is everything that they went through. So it makes it hard. So now you have a teenage mother that's pregnant. Now she have that baby. And that baby may wind up to do the same thing, depending on if they become a product of their environment or if the conditions can be great. Because sometimes that teenage mom learn and say, wait a minute, this is what happened to me, but I'm not going to let it happen no more. And my child is not going to live like that. And they're going to do better because I know better. Yes, I went through this, but this is the reason why I'm not letting my child go through it. So things have a way of turning out to be great from things happening that was unfortunate. Number 5, some people would have loved to finish school, but couldn't. Not because they didn't want to, because they had to. They couldn't go. They didn't have a choice. Family matters. Life made certain things difficult, and things wouldn't go the way we imagined they would. Some people was able to pull things through, and some people weren't. Some went on to get their GED and did great things, got their associates, their bachelors, their masters, their PhD, and a lot of them are professors and nurses and doctors and great people. So sometimes people have to go through certain things to get to where they're going. We all can't go through the same door at the same time. It's already a shortage of everything in life, but somehow if you put it together and try to work it out, anything can work out. Some people never went back to school to get their GED. They went on to work and do things that they had to continue to help their family. But never underestimate a person because of their circumstances. Sometimes life has a way of altering things in people's future, but they still have one. Some people with no GED become successful in their own right. They raise their family, open up businesses, take care of the elders in their family. Some people care more about school than family. Life has a way of changing, and you will have no choice but to change with it, unless you have a better plan. And sometimes you don't have a choice. It's hard when you don't have a choice. But to give up school and to hopefully you can return one day. Always keep your dreams of school in your life. Because school is so very important. And so many people just wish they can just be there in order to do the things that they want to show their children that they're supposed to do. But sometimes you wind up not being able to finish school, and you have to still encourage your children and make sure that they go to school. Because it's not an option, especially when you're pulling together the best life that you can for them and they don't have so many obstacles. There's a lot of obstacles will prevent people from going to school. But when life throw you a curveball, just curve that ball and do what you have to do. If you know better, do better. Please don't be discouraged by people telling you it's too late. It's never too late to go back to school. Never. People go to school every day for all different kind of degrees, and some people have careers for 10 years and decide to go to school and they want to do something else. So you can always go to school. And try to help people who feel discouraged. Let them know that it's not the end. And maybe right now wasn't the right time for them to be in school. But maybe later will be a perfect time. So they get a chance to fulfill certain things in their life too. Sometimes everybody can't do things at the same time, and people have to learn to respect that with people. You don't know anybody's journey, because that's their journey. And everyone have to remember, each one teach one. So everybody have to learn to teach each other. And that can maybe carry on and pass along, so it's easier for people to understand that not all people will graduate. Not all people are the same as in, oh, I just dropped out of school, I didn't want to go to school no more, that's it. All of these different things. And a lot of those things that they say are very true. And who could study, go to school when you're hungry, when your life is all a disarray and you didn't create it? You haven't been on this earth long enough to create a plan. But things happen. And in time, we can get past that. If we can just understand that everybody's road is not the same. And people do need help. And those are, going to school is one of those dreams that people always have. You spend your whole life through preschool straight up to 12th grade, waiting for that moment, for you to walk that stage and graduate and know that you did it and your family is proud of you and all of those kind of things. And some people don't get a chance to do that. Some people don't get a chance to do that, but it's still very well important. It still has to be recognized that everybody didn't have the life where it's just written exactly the way it's going to be. You're going to go to school, and you're going to graduate, and you're going to go to college, and you're going to become successful. Some people only make it through half of that. Some people don't even make it to finish high school, period. Different things alter their life that's beyond what we can think of. It's some people who didn't finish school and they became that drug user because they were so down on themselves that they had their whole little plan together in their life that they were going to finish school, take care of their parents, move their parents out of the hood or move their parents out of wherever, and all of a sudden they can't go to school no more. Their granddad died. Their grandmother died. Their mother died. They have to take care of their brothers and their sisters and an aunt and all of those things. And you wouldn't trade it for the world. You would not trade it for the world, either for school or to take care of your family. Now, some people do trade it. Some people going to stay in school and they're going to do whatever they got to do. They don't care what falls down around them, which is good to a certain extent because family matters. So sometimes you have to pull together. And like that saying that they say, it takes a village to raise a child. And that's meaning it take your whole neighborhood. It take your school, people in your school who care, anybody. It take that lunch lady who you don't pay much mind to, but she clean up after you. It take a village to raise a child. And sometimes people don't have a village. They just have their parents. And they're looking out for their parents more than their parents are looking out for them. So when you see people who haven't finished school, see what their story is, if they feel like sharing it. Because everybody's life, they don't have to tell you in order for you to understand anything. So it's nice when people can open up and talk to people about certain things that people may disagree. But things like that, people shouldn't really sit down and try to disagree on it. You can't disagree on somebody else's life. It's not yours. That's totally unfair, selfish, and everything. Because some people would say, why did you go on to finish school when your grandmother was sick and you had to take care of your little niece or your little brother? Why you let them just go on to foster care and all of those things, and now you sitting up in your nice big job? That don't mean nothing to a lot of people. It's so what you went to school, what happened to your family? And none of those things matter. So I just want to give little points on why people drop out and why people don't finish. Some people, the only thing they want to do is finish school. because it means something to them. It means something to them in a way of self-accomplishment. It means something to say, look, I overcame where I came from. I overcame this environment that I was put in. And plus, I want to give back to that village that helped raise me and show me what was right and what was wrong. Because you want to give that back and show I appreciate you. And if there's anything that a person can do in their life to help another person do the same thing, do it. Some people are privileged and they don't even know it. When you have your parents and they get up every day and they make sure that you go to school and make sure you have clothes and all of these things, be grateful for those kind of things. Some people couldn't attend school because they didn't have none of those things. They didn't have a mother to stand in front of them or a father to stand behind them. So please don't take things for granted and don't be so quick to judge other people because you don't know their journey. And sometimes if you could listen, it can teach you a lot about the way that things go differently for people in their life. Sometimes people go to school, people done committed suicide just for the need to prove to other people that they can do things. And what did they need? A village. Sometimes you need your family, and you need people in your neighborhood, and you need people that naturally just care about you, to help you to get through. So after you receive that diploma or that GED, reach back and help somebody else. And act like you understand that it's not easy for everybody. Because anybody could pick any accomplishment out of anybody's life and say, why you didn't do this? What did you want to do? What did you want to accomplish? Oh, I wanted to accomplish this. Then why you didn't do it? Why does people still have time? You have life, and from you have support from people who care about you. You can get through anything in life. You'll be that person who didn't have their GED and sitting down teaching a class, helping those students to try to get where they want to go and where they want to be in life. So my whole point is just be mindful of the words you say and how you say it and what it means to people and what it means when something so important as graduating high school and you didn't get a chance to. That really means a lot to people, and I hope a lot of people out here can relate to it. And the people who can't relate to it, I hope you can try to get some understanding about these kind of things and realize that it's just not what you think or what you heard. What I'm telling you now are facts. They're not made up stories. It's a life that I live. It's a life that a lot of people live. I don't have my GED. I don't have my high school diploma. I went to school. I was in Regents classes. I learned a lot. I learned a lot way before my time. And I'm also that girl who became a woman who have a business. And I work very hard. I don't live in poverty. I have the best of anything that I want. And I will give the shirt off of my back. Because I learned from school and from that village just how to be the person that I am. And maybe one day I'll be able to go back to school And I will be able to have that village to help me out and make sure that they can help me be responsible for some of the things that I took up in my life to make sure that my family was successful. Now, I raised my brothers and my son, and I helped many people in my family. If I had to do it all again and give up not graduating, I'd do it 10 times over. Because I'm hella proud of me being able to take care of my family and making sure that they all graduated. Because I'm very proud to stand in that crowd and clap. Because I was a part of making them successful and being a part of that village. And I grew up, I lost my grandmother, I lost my mother. I take care of my grandfather to this day as we speak. And guess what? He graduated. And he got his high school diploma. And I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, I'm about right. He graduated in 1959, 1960. And he became a business owner. And he never had to work for nobody. And became a very successful man and was very humble. And he raised all his children and was able to do everything he wanted to do. And we became that village. So we had to take care of each other and do what we needed to do. And right now, as I speak, I'm still now taking care of my brothers. One is an engineer. One is on his way to do great things, sports management. And one want to design clothes. And I'm going to stand right behind him. And it's a good thing. So, everybody just keep your head up. Do what you got to do. Never give up. It's never too late. Always help the other person. And always be willing to be a village. If you can't help with everything, help with something little. Help with something little. If you know somebody in your neighborhood needs something, need clothes, shelter, whatever, try to help. Or that don't make you a real smart person to me. So what difference if it makes? If you already got your diploma and you don't care if another person get theirs. I don't care if somebody didn't care about you having yours. You always do better because then you become a product of your environment. So, I hope that this can help people more understand that sometimes people don't just drop out. Sometimes people drop in and help their family. And that become the most important part to them. And like I said, if I had to do it again and take care of my family, that's what I would do. Because I love seeing all of those kids graduate. Me, I'm just fine. I will make it. Because I am a product of my environment, but a great product of my environment. Because sometimes your environment could be good too. So, if everybody can understand what I'm saying, and I hope that you do, is good. Thank you and have a blessed day.